The Data Protection Act 13 of 2011 was partially proclaimed on January 6, 2012 and August 23, 2021. Mr. President, the Data Protection Act was legislated because Trinidad and Tobago faced a threatened data embargo in 2011. The effect being that countries with data protection laws would not be able to share their secure data with Trinidad and Tobago companies. This would be particularly detrimental to companies in banking, finance, and the business sectors. Of equal concern is the collection, use, and sharing of personal information to third parties without notice to or consent of consumers. According to UNTAD, 137 out of 194 countries have put in place legislation to secure the protection of data and privacy. Presently, there are 71% of countries with legislation, 9% with draft legislation, 15% with no legislation, and 5% there's no data available. The parts of the Data Protection Act that are proclaimed are 1, Part 1, Preliminary Title, Objects, General Privacy Principles, Part 2, Office of the Information Commissioner, except for the designation and powers of inspectors, power to conduct an audit of inquiry of public bodies and private sector entities, and the Information Commissioner's right to report annually to the Parliament. Mr. President, this is significant since parliamentary scrutiny is prevented. Part 3, is not proclaimed except for Section 42, which is the protection of personal data by public bodies. Part 4, protection of personal data by the private sector, is also not proclaimed. And Part 5, contravention and enforcement, are not proclaimed as well. Therefore, Mr. President, in Trinidad and Tobago, our data protection is ineffective, feeble, and unenforceable.